that I did coverage of the Riot Games Vanguard update, which, oh my me. What happened was, for those that didn't catch that stream or haven't watched that video, Riot Games have insisted now that if you play League of Legends, you have to have Vanguard, their proprietary anti-cheat, which is a third-party piece of software that you have to run. It runs, if you install it, it runs automatically at startup and it sits in the background, and it must always be in the background if you want to play League of Legends on your machine. If you deactivate it and then reboot your PC so it's not lurking in the background, spying on all your shit, you can't play League, you can't play Valorant. And so they rolled out this update, incredibly brave. They just said, you know what? We're just going to make you have it, and then we're just going to update it. And then when the update came in, it fucked everyone's PCs up. Not everyone's. Indeed, Riot said it was only 0.03%, in a number I totally believe. They were basing that on reports. Let's be real. If you have a fucking problem, how many of you report it to the fucking company that caused the problem prior to attempting to fix it yourself? Let me tell you, I'd rather go on YouTube and listen to some Indian guy explain to me how to fucking fix it, right? That's infinitely quicker than sending a fucking email to Riot Games and waiting for some fucking Riot peon to get back to me in fucking 5 years, right? I'll just... God bless the Indian YouTube community. That's what I'm going to fucking say. They are there every time you need something. They got your back. Anyway, they based it off reports, and we'll get into that. But I called it in the video. I said, like, here's what Riot are going to do. They're going to wait a few days. They're going to rely on their good old, totally not in their fucking... control Reddit moderators to suppress all of the threads and all of the complaints and delete all of the negative comments. Then they're going to go through like legal and whatever fucking channels they do. They're going to post on Reddit. It's weird how they do it. They never do it on their website. Have you ever noticed that? Like I said, you've just got to ask yourself this question. If they don't control that subreddit, why do they use it for all their business messaging? Right? Any answers to that? No, there isn't any answer to that. The idea that you're using a third-party website for official communications with your consumers over using your own website to do it really kind of gives the game away on that one. So, lo and behold, as I predicted, a few days later, they put up a Reddit thread, and they basically said what I said they were going to say, which is, oh, it barely affected anyone. Ignore the thousands of comments on Reddit, the thousands of tweets. Just ignore it. People lie about this type of thing, and we've got the real numbers. Us, Riot Games, a company that's never lied publicly before about anything. You can trust us. And so they said that, and then they also said, the other thing I said, no one's PC got bricked. No one. You might have seen people saying it happened and explaining exactly how it happened, and you might see us explaining exactly how to fix the thing that never happened. But no one's PC got bricked. And it's like, well, I personally know people that happened to. So I guess I'm fucking mentally ill. I guess I'm delusional. I guess I'm imagining things and having hallucinations. And they are too. Maybe none of us are real, and only Riot is real. So anyway, we'll take a look at the response from Riot, which was the classic Riot gaslighting operation. And again, it's just it's on the official subreddit, right? So, hey everyone. League team and the anti-cheat team here with an update on Vanguard. We've been following a lot of the Vanguard conversations that have been raised either here or on other social platforms. By the way, I'd love to know how you're following these conversations, because your moderator team is deleting those conversations. So how are you following them exactly? Are they deleting them and then forwarding them on to you, proving that, of course, there is this relationship here? Do you have a special account where you can go and see all these deleted comments and threads? Does Riot have that power? In which case, what does that mean for privacy? Or are you actually saying, no, we're only seeing the ones the moderators allow, and therefore we don't know the totality of the issues or the problems? I just don't really know. I don't really know what you're going for there, Riot, because none of those are great alternatives, really, are they? We wanted to give some clarification on a few of the popular points you might have seen. Overall, the rollout has gone well. So there you go. First out the gate, overall, it went well. You know, all the complaints and the bricking the PCs, if you didn't have a certain BIOS setting that we could have totally foresaw, we'd just done our homework, and everybody complaining about it, and multiple threads about people leaving, and the player count going down, and more people going over to Dota. It's gone well. It's gone like a fucking dream, guys. And we're already seeing Vanguard functioning as intended. We've already seen a hard drop-off of bot accounts in the usual places, and we will continue to monitor this. Since 14.9 went live, that's the update that broke everything, fewer than 0.03% of players have reported issues with Vanguard. In most cases, these are common error codes, such as VAN codes 128, 152, 1067, -81, 9001, or 68, that are easily solved through player support or troubleshooting and account for the vast majority of issues that we are seeing. There are also a few trickier situations that have popped up that we're actively looking into. Driver incompatibilities, for example. If you're running into issues like this, please contact player support. We also plan on sharing a full external report with you in the coming weeks, months, after Vanguard has been live for a bit. Spoiler, that report is going to completely tell you about how it's improved your playing experience, improved your lives. Nobody really quit. In fact, players are up because disruptive play has gone down, and look how we've handled the bots and the scripters, and those numbers are down. By the way, scripters and bots wouldn't have been so ubiquitous if we hadn't had our fucking source code stolen. So yeah, get ready for that one. We'll read it on stream. Below are a few areas that we want to make sure we provide some additional clarity on immediately. At this point in time, this is under the heading bricking hardware. In bold, we have not confirmed any instances of Vanguard bricking anyone's hardware. Well, that's weird, right? Because, as I said, I know for a fact of at least one, major League of Legends influencer that got their hardware bricked. And here it is. It's LS. So I want you to ask yourself, what are the odds, by the way, of this thing that's totally not bricking anyone's hardware, bricking the hardware of someone who's not only just tech savvy and intelligent, but bricking the PC of somebody that actively streams your game essentially for a living? What are the odds if only 0.03% of the tens of millions of players were affected? What are the odds of it being him? And it happening on not one, but two PCs? What are the odds? I want a mathematician. I know some of you have that good special power and you can calculate this infinitely. I want you to take the player base. I want you to take the 0.03% claim. I want you to take where LS fits into all of that, and then I want you to take his two PCs, and I want a final fucking number.
Hello, Editor Griff here. So, according to the website activeplayer.io, League of Legends had a little over 133 million players in the last 30 days. 0.03% of that comes out to 40,040 players. So, pretty small issue. Now, to get the odds of LS having two PCs bricked by this Vanguard glitch, we have to divide this 40,000 by 133 million and square it, which comes out to about 9 times 10 to the power of -8. So, in regular language, the odds that LS would have two PCs bricked by the Vanguard glitch would be 1 in 111 million and 111,111. Now back to the video.
So after it black screened and wouldn't turn on, he said, update, the other PC in my house also bricked now. Be afraid of this Vanguard update. What the fuck is this? And then, just to even hammer it home how fucked up this whole thing was, he said, after taking out the CMOS battery and resetting the battery, I was able to finally get in a BIOS, fix the PC with Vanguard running. You need UEFI and TMP2 both enabled in BIOS, or your PC won't load, but the other computer is still bricked though. So, what I'm supposed to believe according to Riot Games, is LS is lying and he's made all that up for Twitter engagement. You know, you decide, guys. You decide. Who do I trust? LS, someone I've known for many years, a nice person, you know, somebody that's given, you know, a lot of his efforts and energies towards promoting League of Legends. Or Riot Games, a company that has been universally terrible, repeatedly, fucking people over, doing terrible things, having to settle lawsuits because of terrible behavior in their offices, people who've had data leaks and tried to cover it up. I just don't know, guys. I just don't know which way I'm going to go on this one. Anyway, they then throw in, and this is how you know they know they're lying, no one's PC's been bricked, but just in case, you can contact our player support and we will look into it and help out. We've resolved a few of the major threads you may have seen so far of users claiming this with their machines and have confirmed Vanguard wasn't the causes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't Vanguard. It was always destined to happen. About 0.7% of the player base bypassed Microsoft's enforcement for TPM2 when they installed Windows 11. But the rollout of Vanguard requires that those players now enable it to play the game. So this is interesting because what this says to me is you figured that out after you rolled out Vanguard. You didn't say anything about that before you did the update and caused all these problems. So what they're now trying to say is, oh, it's you. Remember, I predicted this too. It was you and your weirdo settings that made our software break your machine. You did it. They go on to tell you about the settings and blah, blah. And then, again, they talk about, like, oh, there's these issues with GPUs, and this is why you get a black screen. There's 2 ways to fix it. You know, guys, like, this is mad. They are saying Vanguard makes use of the secure boot setting on Valorant, but we don't use it for League due to the older hardware that comprises its user base. Older rigs can have compatibility issues with this setting, and that's actually one of the primary reasons the Vanguard launch was delayed. For example, some GPUs are known to have option ROM that is not UEFI secure boot capable, and sometimes this can result from players having flashed it themselves to unlock the card. So in other words, again, it's your fault. Why are you doing things to hardware you own, you sick fucks, you weirdos? If the option ROM isn't signed, enabling secure boot would prevent your GPU from rendering anything, since it won't boot, resulting in a black screen. There are 2 ways to fix this. Connect the monitor to an integrated graphics card, if you have one, and then disable secure boot and BIOS, or remove your CMOS battery to reset back to the default settings. Guys, this is a piece of anti-cheat software you're making me install to play your free-to-play game that I have probably pumped hundreds of dollars into, like every other fucking moron that plays your shit game. And you're telling me I have to fix these issues? Just take your CMOS battery out and reset it. Don't worry about it. It's nobody, you know, it's your fault, really, for doing things to hardware that you own and not thinking about what we might need or what me might want. Just ridiculous. And anyway, right, again, the moderators, of course, not working for Riot, they did a sticky comment claiming downvote bots had hit the post, right? Now, downvote bots did not in any way hit this post. Reddit moderators do not have the tools to know whether you are a bot account or a genuine account. That is a fact, and I know that. And this guy is a repeat offender of serious mental illness, really overinvested in being a Reddit moderator and abusing his power, says weird, creepy things all the fucking time, tells lies about fucking public figures he doesn't like, one of the ultimate kind of Reddit mod trolls that is empowered by a dog shit company like Reddit, which needs to be closed down and frankly investigated for the types of people it employs. But he has handily helped out Riot Games by stickying all of the replies. And here it is. We've got to fight the downvote bots. Oh, and there's a bunch of removed comments. That's so unlike a thread like this. So anyway, just to show you again what was going on in this thread for real, we'll take a look at undelete .pullpush.io, which brings up all of the deleted comments, and you will see, for instance, is this thread also going to be deleted? Because it's crazy that everywhere but this subreddit is constantly posting about the problems since the implementation of Vanguard. For example, PC Master Race can have a 1.5k comment thread about Vanguard, but for some reason it's dead silent here. Almost like someone doesn't want the discussion to get traction or something. Deleted. Now, by the way, when you see all of these comments that say removed too quickly to be archived, just in case you don't know what's happened there, what has happened there is the moderators have added words or certain types of filter, but typically it's just a word filter, to their moderation tools. And so whenever anyone says that word, it automatically deletes the comment. By the way, they did this with my name for a brief time, and they deny it. But basically, they add... so these words could be anything. It could be Vanguard, it could be I'm uninstalling, it could be blue screen. Who knows what they've added to it, but it's a recent addition, because when we looked at the last thread, there weren't this many automatic deletions. So in other words, now what we can say based on the evidence, the Reddit moderators themselves have now changed their moderation rules, their moderation tools, to prevent people posting about the problems that they're having with Vanguard and Riot games. But again, there's no relationship there. You can see as well, somebody said, I remember this comment before it was deleted by the user. Has anyone got any proof of bricking PCs? And someone replied with LS. Well, that's gone now. They've deleted that. I didn't care about Vanguard, but now my client is crashing after it starts up. I've tried everything. Nothing works, including Hextech. So incredibly frustrating. Is this related to this controversial Vanguard update? Who approved this crap before launching it on the main servers? It just broke my computer. As someone who didn't initially care, I'm going to try Dota 2. Anyone have recommendations to swap with this frustrating game? I'm out of this mess. Deleted. This is invasive as fuck and buggy as fuck. Remove it or prepare to lose your player base. Deleted. All of these things, probably valid complaints about Vanguard, all being automatically deleted. The ones underneath the mod post is brilliant. They're brilliant. They're like, no, they weren't bots. It's just I will dominate. Opened the thread on stream. And Kahootie went, look, though, there's a spike in downvotes here. And it's like, yeah, I will dominate. Just opened it on stream. So people saw it. People went to the thread and people downvoted it because they know you're trying to cover up what's happening on Vanguard. No bots required. Like, who'd be paying for bots to downvote this thread, by the way? Like, it just doesn't even make sense. It's like an insane person's allegation. Why isn't there a separate installer? Removed. Someone even said, thank you, Kahootie. But deleted. Here's the responses to the mod thread here, right? How can you tell it's bots and not actual people angry with this particular change? Deleted. Well, again, the answer is, by the way, they can't. And I'll show you that they can't. And he replies, because 2 hours of extremely constant growth in upvotes suddenly became minus 100 upvotes in 6 minutes. A few more downvote sprees appeared immediately after, and then it was straight back to normal voting patterns. Nearly every comment on here is negative or someone with a problem. I wouldn't downvote it because I want more people to see it. It's pretty undercooked response to the Vanguard rollout. I don't care what I expected. I have the actual data. For 2 hours, this post consistently received about 3 upvotes. Like, listen to this person. Like, how cooked is this person's fucking brain? Like, by the way, not salaried, doing this just to get fucking Daddy Riot approval, Daddy Reddit approval, spending their time doing this. Ooh. In the next 40 minutes, it dropped at an average speed of 6 votes per minute, and then it went back to gaining on average 2 upvotes per minute for the next 3 hours. That sudden dip is not natural. And then he posts a graph, right? And that is where I Will Dominate opened it on stream. That drop. Now, you will also notice upvotes and comments. That's the information they have access to. They don't know which accounts voted on it. They don't know anything. That is it. Those lines are the moderator tools. And he's posted that. And you know, if he had something from Reddit going, oh yeah, listen, Mr. Kahootie, they are really bot accounts, you know he would post it. But he doesn't have that because moderators don't get that. And so he's just publicly lied. and said, we've had to heavily moderate this thread because of the bots, the very real bots. Not me having a mental health episode and imagining things, but very real bots. And you can see somebody posted it. Fake mail-in votes, folks. This post won updates if you count the legit votes, right? Deleted. All the other people complaining about the moderation must have used those bad words that moderators don't like. Are these downvote bots in the room with us right now? Deleted. It's ridiculous, guys, that this is just constantly happening. Remember when Reddit pledged they would never be like Dig, and they would never let big corporations or big influencers control subreddit narratives? They absolutely do allow it. We know they've done this in Fortnite, stuff with Epic Games, doing it with Riot. Let them get away with absolute fucking murder over there in terms of the coverage. Never forget, by the way, Reddit is the same platform that when the Pulse nightclub shooting happened, and it turns out that someone identified the shooter as being a Muslim, but by the way, he wasn't doing it for jihadist purposes. It all sort of came out later that actually he'd been jilted and he was a closet case. It was all this other stuff. But anyway, and the media totally got that wrong because, of course. Reddit is the website that when people were bleeding in the streets and they were desperate for transfusions because 50 people had been shot, Reddit is the website where the moderators deleted threads with where to go to give blood to save lives because the moderators were worried it might create Islamophobia. That's that website. They'd rather have people die in the fucking streets than have 5 minutes of un-PC conversation. And nobody, for me, if I'm a politician in America and I hear a story about a big tech company in my country doing something like that and actually co-signing it because the staff members were coming in and going, we can't stop moderators from doing these things. It's all, dude, Reddit has a body count. Reddit is the same website that falsely identified the Boston Marathon bombers, and the person who was falsely identified killed themselves. And at no point has Reddit ever had to be accountable for any of this shit. And the problem isn't the users and it isn't the content. It's always been the moderators. So, when's it going to stop is my question. But, listen, this ain't a big deal. This is just moderators once again lying on behalf of a corporation that's installing spyware on teenagers' computers. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. Just let it go on continuously for years, censoring journalism, suppressing reports that criticize the corporation they show fealty to. This is all totally fine, guys. And of course, because Riot have friends in the media, every single website has just repeated uncritically what Riot said. We have not confirmed any instance of Vanguard bricking anyone's hardware following its League of Legends rollout, Riot says, but there are definitely problems for some players, right? And they include the LS tweet. So, where in this article do you say this person is saying he's got his PC bricked and is uploading a picture of a brick PC, so Riot are lying? Why is that not the headline? Riot Games say no PCs bricked. Evidence points to them lying. Why is that not the headline? Because it's never the headline where Riot are concerned, is it? So, it's just another classic example of Riot Games. They're never wrong. They never do anything wrong. They can never be wrong. If you notice them being wrong, then they will just simply retcon history before your eyes through a combination of using their friends in the media, using their goons on Reddit, right? And you will just have to deal with this new reality that you find yourself in, where the things you know happened didn't happen. It's actually insane. And by the way, if you're new to the channel, I urge you, I know YouTube isn't good for curation, but I have a playlist and it's just called Riot Games, and it is probably now over a decade long of videos detailing and chronicling all of the bad shit they've ever done. Just One night, if you're one of those people who's new to the channel and you think, oh, this boomer's got a pleasant voice, and you want to listen to me read you a bedtime story about Riot games, put that playlist on from video 1 and listen to it all the way through. Watch as a grown man becomes more and more exasperated with the bullshit that company has got away with for over a decade.